Okay, so the concatenation operator.
So,
Yes,
so then
yes.
we can we can conclude that the concatenation operator acts like the cross multiplication of two sets.
Yeah, yeah. Concatenation operator looks like cross product operator, but cross product is different in case of DFAs. Okay, so when you are combining a DFAs, so if you remember what the cross product is, it is totally different. But concatenation operator means that you just take the string from one language and place it together. So it looks like it looks like a cross product because just you have to place it together. So what is exactly a concatenation? If you remember what is string concatenation, you take a string and just put it together. So that is your string concatenation. Okay, so it works like this, but exactly the name given to it is concatenation. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So again, when we are concatenating this a raised to power n, b raised to power n, so uh, your doubt is very valid here that it can become a raised to power n, b raised to power n. But if I just clearly take a look at this languages, it is not becoming a raised to power n, b raised to power n, but actually it is becoming a raised to power n and b raised to power m here. So that is the difference here. So that is why that we said that the concatenation operator is closed under. However, it's another by asking this question. There is something I again want to tell you that there is some exception. There is exception here. I will tell you the exception about it. The exception is infinite union. Okay, so this is a bit exception in regular languages. Infinite union. I just don't just see about this. What is the meaning of this? The regular language, there is just a language. The regular language is not closed under this one. Is not closed under infinite union. Is not closed under infinite union. Now, what exactly is an infinite union? Just take a look at it. Now, it is very easy to understand. Suppose now with this thing, I say that my L1 is this A1, B1. My L2 is A2, B2, and my L3 is A3, P3. Now you get the point here that it will become now Ln is you know this a raised to power n and b raised to power n here. Okay. So now what exactly this language will become if I do an infinite union? Why I am talking about infinite union? Because this language is raised to power of n. So I have to take a union of L1, L2, L3, union L4 up to union of Ln. So if you clearly take a look at it, union is your plus operator. So it means that AB plus AABB plus AAABBB plus and AAAABBB plus. Okay. So if you clearly take a look at this one, now this because this is a plus here, either this, it means that all the operators, if I just conclude this, what exactly is the expression, it will look like this, that all the languages a raised to power n, b raised to power n, where n is greater than equal to 1. Okay, so if you clearly see this, if I do a plus, if I add an infinite plus or infinite union of these languages, my language certainly becomes like this, and that is not a regular language. Okay, so there is only one exception, that a regular languages is not closed under infinite union. Okay, so this question, if you clearly take a look at it, every book, this thing is not given. This thing is not given that about infinite union, and any book this is not mentioned here. So this is a question asked by, I think, GATE, or I think, I don't remember, it is the question asked by GATE or ISRO exam here, and they asked about this question, that infinite union, do regular language is closed under infinite union or not? So most of the students will say that yes, because it is closed under union, so it will also be closed under infinite union. But there is one exception here. If you take a look at this language, this will not be a regular one. Okay, so this is an exception. Only this one is the exception in the regular language. Almost all of the properties that you have seen, it will be closed, but in infinite union this is not closed. So keep a look and keep this question in mind. Again, I am not saying that it is for all the languages it is not closed. Okay, so sometimes, like if I just say that L1 and like L1 is A and L2 is AA and like L3 is A. Okay, so if you do a infinite union of this one, again, if you do a infinite union of L1 union L2 union L3, it will result in A raised to power n where n is greater than equal to 0. So this is regular. Okay, so I'm not saying that all the languages under infinite union are not regular here. So again, this is the key concept here is to understand that that this one, if this is a set here, I have to find at least one language, at least one language that is not regular. Okay, so if I am able to find only one language, then I can again say that this is not closed. Okay, so keep that in mind. If you are able to find only one language by applying a certain operator, if applying a operator in observation, if you apply it with any regular set or any set, okay, suppose I just say that if you are able to find only one language, also only one language, uh, in that language uh, suppose your operator is not resulting in the similar set. Okay, so I just say the set as set, and if I just take s1 from this set and apply a operator and again with another set 2, and it is not resulting from the same set, so this it does not belong to the same set, then you can again say that this is not closed. Okay, so only one thing on only one operator or only one language is needed to disprove the closure property. Okay, so don't think that if I am saying that infinite union is not closed under, it does not mean that all the languages, infinite union is not closed under all the languages. It does not mean that, but it means that there exists at least one language for that infinite union is not closed, and that particular language is this one. Okay, so now there will be more languages also, but I am able to find this one. So if you are if you are able to find only one property that disproves your theory, you can directly say that that is not closed. Okay, so that is the main point to remember here. Okay, so that is the only one main point to remember. So this thing is an exception. Keep that in mind. You will not. I don't think you will find it in any books that any regular language is closed under an infinite union or not. Okay, so that is a very important point. Okay, so now if I just move to the regular operators, I think you exactly already know about these operators. Suppose the operators like I think we have done union and we have done concatenation, and the third one is infinite union, and the fourth one will be I think clean closure. Okay, so if I just say that if I take language and raise it to the power of n, it is also closed under. So yes, this is also closed under, so there is no doubt about it. Just take a regular expression like ab and raise it to the power of star. So by raising it to the power of star, we are just creating a loop here. So loop will always exist, uh, in that one, so keep that thing in mind. Okay, so now the fifth one is complementation. I think I have already told you about this complementation, if you remember, in the first tutorial. So I have told you two properties in the first tutorial, that concatenation and complementation. If you don't remember complementation, what happens in that, if you want to take a complement of a DFA, don't worry about it. So it is very easy. So you have to what you have to do, just this is your Q1 and this is your Q2. If you remember, what you do, just convert the non-final states into final state and final states into non-final states. Okay, so now this exactly, if I just say this is a D1 and this is a D2, now I can say that D1 is a complement of D2. Okay, so yeah, now you can see that the D2, if I take a complement of D1, it will result into D2. If I take a complement of D2, it will result into D1. Okay, so you can see that. Okay, so the main uh, okay, so if you see, we have designed this complement. Okay, if you take any regular language, suppose any regular set that contains some language. Okay, so if you take a complement of this set, okay, so suppose this regular language has DFA that is corresponding to this one, and if you want to take the complement of this regular language, okay, so if I just want to take the complement of this regular language, what you do, you take the complement of the DFA, so it will result in D2. Okay, so it will result in D2, and that too D2 is also regular, because if you see what is the property of a regular here, because if you are able to design a DFA, then it means that it is regular in nature. Okay, so again, if you remember the identification of regular languages, it is again based on the same thing, that if you are able to design a DFA, then it is also a regular language. So you can directly say that, because how can you take a complement? You have to take a complement by making the non-final state as final and final state as non-final. Okay, so it means the resulting thing will also result in a DFA. So if there exists a DFA, it means the regular language, the resulting language is also regular. Okay, so I can also say that at
So,
complementation. Yeah.
instead of DSA, we can take any other finite automata, right? NFA also okay, right?
Yeah, NFA and anyone. Don't. I am not certainly talking about DFA. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Okay. Okay. So now complementation is again a yes property. So all of the properties that I will be discussing are yes, except of the properties of infinite union. Okay. So that is the important one. Keep this property in mind. Okay. So again, now the property, I think intersection. Okay. So if I just take a property of L1 intersection L2. Okay. So I can give you a proof of this. I think this is more certainly called a constructive proof. Why it is calling a constructive proof? Because I will be using the properties which I proved earlier. Okay, so how? I think if you take a De Morgan's law of it, you can write this equation as L1 union L2 raised to power this. If you do not, if you take a De Morgan's of this, so what will happen? It will be the, if you remember the De Morgan's law, so it will be L1 intersection L2. So it will become, absolutely it will become complement complement and complement complement. So it will get cancelled, and because this is a De Morgan's law, and this can be inverted here. Okay, so if you remember De Morgan's law, you can apply it here, or you just uh, to take the equivalence here, just take a set here for L1, take a set here for L2, and see if they are both equal or not. Okay, so now I know that particular thing, that complementation, when I take a complementation of a regular language, it is regular. So I can I just take a complementation of L1R, L1 complement, so it will result into a regular expression. In the same way, take a complement of this L2, it will also result in a regular one, because we have already studied in the previous property that complementation is closed under regular language. So I can again say that this one is again closed under this one. Okay, so now again the remaining thing is this. Now you can take a union, R1 union R2 is again closed under, if you remember, this is the first property, that R1 union R2 is closed under a regular set. So you can again say that this is also a regular set, and it is take the complement of R2. So again the complement property is closed under under the regular language. So this is also resulting thing is also a regular language. Okay, so you can also say that intersection is also yes closed under this. Okay, in the similar way, there is some property, all the properties of set you can give here, if you remember, set difference property. Okay, so this is another one. Okay, so in set difference property, what you can do, you can, if I just take L1 minus L2, so I can write this language as L1 union L2 intersection L2 union. Okay, so if you do not know how I got that, so just I prove the equivalence of these two properties. Okay, so if you remember, I just take a universal set like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now just consider this for your reference, that this is the universal set, because we are taking a complement, so I have to define a universal set here. Okay, so now our L1 is A, suppose our L1 is ABC. So again I'm proving the set theory. Okay, so I have told you that this L1 is equivalent to this operator, so you can again use this procedure to prove that they are equal. Okay, so I just tell you how to prove it in this one. So our L2 is, suppose our L2 is like BCD. Okay, so now what is the, again the set difference L minus L2 is the elements that are present in L1 that is not in L2. Okay, so that is your set difference. If you remember, the elements that are present in L1 that are not in L2 is the set difference. Okay, so the element that are present here are A, B, and C. So which element is not there in this set? So A is not there, B is there, and C is there. So the resulting set difference operator will be this one A. Okay, so if you don't get it, just write like this: ABC and BCD. Just cut cut it, and the resulting one is this. So this is a set difference operator. Okay, so if you're doing L2 minus L1, so what you do, because L2 is at the starting one, so you just write ABC and BCD. Now cut the operators like this one, and the resulting is this D, so the resultant will be D. Okay, so now you can also do this, but the definition is the elements, because L1 minus L2 means the elements that are present in L1 that are not in L2. Okay, so the elements are present that are present in the L1, not in L2 is the set difference. Okay, so A, B, BC is present in the another set. So the remaining element that is not present is A. So you can directly write it, or you can follow this procedure. You will get the same thing. Okay. So how will I prove that this one is equal here? So now just I'm talking about this one. So this one should be equal to. So the result of this one L1 union L2 intersection will be A. So how do I prove it? So what is L1? So exactly L1 is ABC and intersection what is L2 BCD. Okay, so BCD is your intersection, and take the complement of this one. If you remember, if I take the complement of this one, so suppose this is your universal set and this is some set that is BCD. So I do not want that set, so I want this set on. Okay, so deleting just remove BCD from this set. So what will, that is why I've considered this universal set. Now the resulting set, what it will be? It will be A, not B, not C, not D, E, F, G, H. Okay, so the complement of this set is the remaining set. So if I'm talking about this universal set, so the remaining just minus this set from the universal sets, you will get the answer here for complementation, and you just have to take the intersection of this one. Okay, the intersection of this one is your A. Okay, so I got the same thing. So I have proved that this L1 minus L2 can also be written like L1 intersection L2 union. So L2 complement. So I think you also have studied in set theory. I do not need to repeat it, but I just want for your reference if you do not remember it. So I have repeated it. Okay. So now if you remember again, you can prove it by constructive proof. So again, this is L1, and you can take, if you take a complement of this one, it is closed under complement. So you can say that L2 is also regular. In the similar way, if I'm talking, this is a regular language, and this, if I take an intersection of these two, because intersection we have already discussed, it is also closed here. So you can again resulting language will also be a regular language. Okay, so this is closed under set difference also. And the seventh one I just want to talk about is the set difference. Oh, sorry for that. Reversal. Okay, so reversal is also a property of DFA. So how do you derive the DFA of a reversal? What you do, you just take any NFA or a DFA. What you do, uh, okay, so okay. So I think I will discuss this property in the next class. So just stop here, and I think I will discuss about the quiz, because I think mostly the time is up for that. Okay, so I will tell you now the remaining properties are reversal, homomorphism, and inverse homomorphism. These are main properties I will talk about in the next class. Okay, so mostly this one. These are again, there is another property called right quotient. Okay, so hold on reversal for that, because I don't think I have told you about reversal. And reversal is again is possible in DFA. It's like complementation. So I have to take one or more examples to prove that how reversal is exactly applicable. So that will take a little bit of time. That is why I'm ending my session here. Okay, so just again I will tell you what are exactly the